Hey, it's your girl Go Queen with the Q Chat Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to our latest episode. Before we get started, I want to give you some information on how you can grab some Q Chat merchandise. Go to www.goqueen.com and there you can purchase any Q Chat merchandise or any of my Go Love Yourself tees. So go ahead, take a look at the website and feel free to grab some merchandise today. There's something else I want to fill you guys in on. If you haven't heard, Anchor is the hottest and easiest way to make a podcast. It's the best price in the world, free. So go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And just remember, Anchor distributes your podcast to all streaming platforms. It's super simple. So go ahead and sit back and get ready to listen to the next episode of the Q Chat. But don't forget, go to www.goqueen.com and grab some merchandise. Thank you for tuning in and get ready to listen in. Go Queen! Hey, so we're recording a new episode of the Q Chat, and as I mentioned, the whole month of June, I am dedicating it to the Black King. So as you guys know, anyone that regularly listens to the show, I normally do the on the go so I can throw in some humor to break away from the monotony. So of course, since it's the month that I'm dedicating to the Kings, I have my good friend, Mr. Marlon Defillo. So he is my guest today for the on the go. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for joining me. And you're like my road dog. You like the one that hit me to anchor.
Yeah, man. I had to hook you up with the one too. You know, you're doing real good. I'm proud of you. You're doing really good.
You know, I got that special love for you. So like,
Oh yes.
I'm happy we finally get to record together. So like I
Right.
said, I just want to lighten it up, because I think the Q Chat is even depressing me lately. So.
Like I need a drink like now. Yes, I know
For
exactly.
real,
Yes.
like, so
Too
I
much
just
going
want
on.
for real. So like we're going to talk on the topics, but for anybody listening, if you ready for something serious, like this, not the episode, go back to some other previous episodes because we're trying to lighten it up.
Yeah.
So obviously, the protests are taking place. We just can't catch a break. I know you said it. I said it too. 2020, I need the warranty. Like, I don't know if it's in heaven or, Jesus or St. Peter has the warranty for 2020, but
Just throw it
I
away.
can't.
Just throw it away.
Right. Like, what's the loophole? Like, or can we, like, get the pill like in the Matrix? The red or the blue pill or something, or we need Will Smith right now, the little thing he had in Men in Black, because this is too much. I feel like Kobe just took the whole year.
Yeah, I know, right? But that's the good thing about it is we're halfway there. That's the only good thing you would say about 2020. Like we're in June,
Right.
we're almost to the finish line. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
We are in June. I just hope that I'm like, what is going to happen the next 6 months? That's
All I hope is that Trump is not elected as next president again, or renews the. If he does that, we are in trouble. I'm going to Wakanda.
Right. You know what? Maybe that's the silver lining. Maybe that's like, okay, Lord, like this would be like the thing that'll just turn 2020 around. Like that could be the silver lining that by December we could all be celebrating that, November that he was knocked out the door. Like hopefully that happens.
Yes.
But you're right. If he gets elected, that's going to be like the cherry on top of 2020. And I will find Wakanda. I know it's supposed to be fictional, but in my heart, I feel like it's real.
Yes.
And I'm gonna go find it. I'm gonna get a passport. I'm gonna make one,
I'm right.
and I'm out of here.
I'm right there with you. We'll find some vibranium. We'll get some money. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I'm right there with you.
For real, because I'm out. Like I'm just done. Like I will find Wakanda. If we can't find it, we all gonna get together like Marcus Garvey. We're gonna build our Wakanda.
Yep, I'm all that. I'm all that for sure. Yes.
Because this is. This year is ridiculous. So obviously the protests are going on. The thing that's like amazing me with the protests is all of a sudden, our counterparts, some of, our racist counterparts, they getting really bold on social media and they're joining the unemployment line now. So like, what do you think about that? Like, I'm like, what is with all this boldness? Like, I know we got the, the supremacists in chief, but I think they just, I don't know. I think they forgot how social media is social, and people know how to screenshot, and they're getting canceled left and right. Like, what do you think about that?
It's like all these Karens that come out of nowhere. It's like they know they're being recorded. They still act an ass, like call you nigger, saying, you don't belong here or go back where you came
Mm.
from. I'm like, who is you to check on me?
Right,
Like,
and they spitting in people's faces like we still in a pandemic. I mean, they taking it way far. It's like, what? Like, it's amazing me. So out of like all of them, has there been one that's been like the most shocking for you?
oh boy, it's like so many. Uh, I would say the one that was the most shocking, when you kind of touched on a little bit about the woman spit on the kid. That one pissed me off. I'm like, okay, so it's one thing to curse me out, but if you just spit on
Mm-hmm.
me, that is the worst sign of disrespect ever. And you'll do that to
Right.
me, and you're a woman? Nah, bruh.
Mm.
Like, I don't fight. I've never been in a fight before in my life. But that was the first time I would really strongly consider hitting a woman. Like, seriously, because you
Right.
don't do that.
I find that it's like the Beckys and the Karens are like the main ones that want to spit on people. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, the Kevins and the Ians. I can't think of like a real whitewashed male name right now. I'll think of one later. But like they like like they'll curse you out, they gotta throw in a nigger and all this bullshit. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like the Karens and the Beckys, they gotta take it to the next level and they gotta spit in your face. It's like, really? Like I don't know, like what they think the whole spitting is. Like, okay, let me take it to the next level. Let me spit in their face, which is like the lowest thing you can do to a
Yeah.
person.
Now I think about it, probably Amy Cooper is really the one that kind of really pissed me off too.
Mm. You know what I'm sick of? Just like with her, the lame apologies that they'll do afterwards.
Oh, because
Like,
they got caught. That's why. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I'm not racist. Blah blah. Like, you racist. I don't want to hear it. It's all fake.
that's the part I love the most. I'm not a racist. It's like, okay, keep that same energy you had when you was throwing out, niggers and threatening black males that you gonna call the police, knowing you were lying. Like, so if you're not racist, what are you?
Exactly. So I'm not racist, but I have black friends to prove it. All right, sure. Okay.
Right, you have your token black friend, which is probably your coworker, your black coworker who you
Probably.
probably said hi to in the hallway.
Yep.
You don't have any black friends,
Yep.
okay? So, miss me with that. So, of course, the bad part with the protest too, the celebrities are like making some serious mistakes. You and I, for anyone that listens, of course, we're both New Orleanians, 504 all day,
Mm-hmm.
black and gold, but our freaking quarterback, Drew Brees, had to open his mouth, okay, and put his foot in it, So, of course, that was ridiculous. I mean, here's my thing with Drew Brees. I had actually already canceled him before he started talking, but as I told you, I view Drew Brees as like, we not all perfect. I view him as the booty call, like, he's useful during the football games, So, I F's with Drew during the games, okay, until either he wins or loses. Then, I put him back on the shelf after it's over because I already knew how he stick and move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was all hugged up with Trump. I mean, I know how he sticks and moves, but this was just like on a whole different level. And now I'm like completely done. And now I was one of the people that had boycotted anyway the NFL for 2 seasons, standing with Cap. I
Oh
only
wow.
decided to start watching again because of the Saints, because I had gotten like, I'm like, okay, I kept asking people after the games were over, what happened? Like, 'cause I was like, I'm standing with Cap. I'm like, the hell with the NFL. But after Cap had did his little Nike ad, and I was like, okay, well, Cap did a Nike ad. They're showing it during the game, so that releases me. So I started watching again. But now I'm like, okay, I may have to. I don't know how the heck they're gonna play anyway during the pandemic, but I think I might have to join back and saying I'm done with this. What did you think this about the whole Drew Brees debacle, and then have you canceled
Well, for me, I'm an Eagles fan. I'm not really a Saints fan.
him?
So
I got
once
you.
this unraveled, I laughed my ass off. Like, I had so much fun with it. I was texting people, tagging people, posting on Facebook. I'm like, get your quarterback. Like, this is that's your quarterback. Like how in Black Panther, this is your king. Like that.
Is this your king?
Like that's your boy. Yeah, people were really pissed off with Drew. And for me, like, I'm not really a Saints fan. I admire Drew. He did a lot for the community, especially after Hurricane
Right.
Katrina, putting the Saints on the
Right.
map. But once he took that picture with Trump, I'm like, yeah, bro, I have I have no respect for you at all. I really don't. And the
Right.
fact is that you play a sport predominantly with black people, and it's like you should have known better that a lot of your teammates have an issue with that. Now, I understand that,
Right.
it's the president of the United States, once lifetime opportunity. Yeah, but that's Trump. So
Thank
he
you.
took the picture. I'm like, you know what? Is what it is. Then once he made that statement about that he does not agree with anybody, disrespecting the flag, whatever, or protesting, I'm like, bro, like, you still don't get it. Like, and once everybody got in his ass, like LeBron James, Ed Reed, Richard Sherman, all these celebrities got in his ass, like, oh, I may have made a mistake.
Right. That's when it dawned on him. It's like, the thing that amazed me was the audacity of his cluelessness. And that's the thing that was disappointing, especially Drew from New Orleans.
Yes.
I mean, that's our city. I'm sorry. I don't care who that offends, but come on, New Orleans? It's like, you really can't be in New Orleans of all cities and play these little games.
Yeah. I mean, like, if anything, like, bro, like, just say, you know what, to answer the question, like, I won't respect the flag because, my grandfather fought in the war, but I understand those who may not feel the same way. Something like that. We come off like
Right.
arrogant like that, so disrespectful. So, yeah, Drew, I don't know. He should have known better, but I'm kind of glad that everybody spoke up against it, even his own teammates. Like, look, bro, like,
Right.
what you did was wrong. And once he apologized, like, through his post on Instagram, I'm like, all right, cool. And then he made a video. I'm like, all right, a little much, but okay, cool, whatever. But now I need to see some action. What you gonna do now? So
thank you. See, my petty was on 100. So when he did like the little lame post, addressing it to Trump, like I had told you on your page, I'm like, that's your boy. Text him. Like, you don't have to front for us now. Like, that's your role dog.
FaceTime
So
him, put on a Zoom call, talk to him
exactly.
like that,
Thank
and
you.
record it
So
so we
it's
can
like,
all see it afterwards.
exactly. So don't entertain us now. Like, you want to, now join us. Like, that's your boy. So it's like, whatever. Like, show us a screenshot of the text.
Yes.
So then I'd be a little moved. So I was like, whatever. And then when he did the video, look into my eyes. It's like, bruh,
So I
bye.
did want to ask you. So do you think his first post was written by him or his PR team?
I don't think he
I don't
wrote
think he
it.
did.
I mean, I think he may have proofread it. He ain't write that.
Yeah, right. I feel the same way, bro. Like, that don't even sound like you. I really don't. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Like he called Olivia Pope, whoever the real Olivia Pope
Sure
is,
did.
asked her to fix it. And she was like, I'm going to handle it. She's probably some sister out of Atlanta or something, like, let me write this for you. Like, no.
He probably got with Toya, too. Let Toya's people, let him get with the people so I can write this apology to the black community. Let them know that I'm with y'all.
I wasn't moved. I mean, it's just one of those situations where even when a person does apologize, it's kind of like you kind of can't erase the damage because it's like you've already seen something in them that you like, damn,
right.
Like you just don't look at them the same anymore. I really think he should just, here's the thing, before January when he was hugged up with Trump and everything, I've been wanting him to retire. That's just me.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people.
I'm one of the few Saints fans who wasn't crying about, oh my God, the ref screwed us. No, Drew screwed us. Okay. Like, if he had done his job solely, like fully during that game, actually, the pass interference wouldn't have even been an issue.
Thank God.
But,
somebody finally sees it. You finally see it.
But I'm the minority. So, y'all don't unsubscribe because I'm spitting the truth. But I'm just saying we need to start being honest. Drew has screwed us on several occasions.
Speaking facts.
Right. So I'm just saying, because I don't watch the games and just forgive everything he does. I'm sorry. He's messed over us a lot of times. So I'm like, whatever. We should have been in the Super Bowl this year. But, no one wants to admit when he drops the ball or the fact that he came back too quick anyway. because my boy Teddy was doing a good job. And I really think I didn't like how they treated Teddy after Drew came back anyway. So I wanted Drew to retire anyway. I feel like with all this that has taken place now, just retire. Because after you've already screwed New Orleans, God forbid, even like I said, I don't know how the NFL is going to work with the pandemic, but let's, in the perfect world, once they start playing again, imagine if he drops the ball again, and that's a pun intended. Imagine if he was getting a ring on top of what he said. I think New Orleans would go nuts. So just hang it up and go.
Nah, he ain't missing that money. He's like, nah, after y'all, I want my $20 million with signing bonus. I want all my money. So he ain't going nowhere.
Exactly. Right. And that's why I don't F with him anymore. Like I'm done. And then, to even take it further, Roger Goodell and his little lame statement,
Yep.
but he didn't mention Cap at all.
Facts.
So I was just like, how I was really flabbergasted that he didn't acknowledge Cap. That was his moment right there. Like, I am sorry.
Right.
He didn't address him. So I'm just like, are you kidding me? And then everybody else is like, well, maybe they'll give Cap a job now. I wish I was friends with Cap, because I'd be like, I wish y'all would come ask me to come work for y'all now.
Man.
Like, I wish your mother would come text me and be like, we sorry, can you come back now after we vilified you for years and screwed over you? Like, are you kidding me? I just feel like we just too damn forgiving.
Yes.
Like, maybe I'm just
no,
petty,
you're not. You're on the right level. I mean, all you had to do was say, Colin, I apologize. I didn't take your word. You meant well, but I was being ignorant. I didn't listen to you, but now I understand where you're coming from. So that's all I say. You're back in the league. But
right. And he did none of that.
Asshole.
And that's where, right. So that's why I'm like, whatever you dishing out now, I still don't want it. And then like Jay-Z, when he made that comment, oh, we past kneeling. No, we not. Like we are not past kneeling. I didn't agree with that statement. So I just kind of felt like people that should have directly apologized to Colin Kaepernick didn't do it. And it really, really, really bothers me, because unlike a lot of D riders, I was actually a Colin Kaepernick fan before he showed his wokeness.
Yeah.
So for me, when he started kneeling, it was extra special for me, because I'm like, damn, there's somebody I already respect anyway doing this. And I was 100% with him. So that's why I did start boycotting, because I was like, screw this. And I was happy that someone had finally taken a stand, and it was just so bold what he did, and I just have 100% respect for him. I mean, he's on a level to me with the Muhammad Ali's that was like, y'all not sending me to Vietnam. I'm not fighting. Like, y'all don't respect me.
Right.
I mean, I don't think people, even now, because history is history, but if people just understood the gravity of what he did years ago, so like I have full respect for Cap, but I just feel like y'all need to apologize to that man. Whether the apology would really mean anything at this moment, but at least acknowledge what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So that's the part that really disgusts me. But I don't know. Roger Goodell and his NFL nonsense didn't move me.
Yeah, nice try, boss. Try again. That's how I feel.
Exactly. So I'm like, I may be, rocking with the NBA fully and solely. Not that they don't have.
Oh yeah, that's true too. Yeah, they're trying to figure out if they're gonna come back or not.
Right. But I'm like, the NFL is just right now is just canceled for me in general. Like, I just got to see more action. And I'm Roger Goodell too. Oh well, Juneteenth will be a holiday now. Okay.
But my question to you is, what would you like to see Drew do as far as action is concerned?
I don't know, to be honest. That's a good question. I honestly don't know. Like, maybe if he had a genuine conversation with, I know Shannon Sharp has said that Drew had contacted him and they, chopped it up or whatever. I don't know. He would have, to me, I think he would have to directly do something specifically to the city of New Orleans, who love you. I'm going to say past tense for a second, because people were definitely burning those jerseys.
And throwing it away.
Right, with no hesitation, chanting F Drew Brees.
Oh, that was rough.
So, right, like, I don't know, Drew may have to knock out, my monthly house payment or something. I don't know, like, I just
petty.
like, I can't think of anything, honestly, at this moment. Like, I really can't. Like, I'm not saying that. I don't know. It's just hard because of the whole situation and because we're seeing so many of our counterparts showing their slip, like showing their little sheet, and they're saying stuff that's like so racially insensitive. And I think that's the part that really hurt everybody, that respected Drew to a degree. But I don't know, honestly. But like I said, I'm kind of in a different category because I had already canceled it, So when he made the statement, I was just like, because I had even wrote on my personal Facebook page, I'm like, Drew
Right.
been Drew. So I'm like, y'all don't need to be shocked, was my thing. So I was just like, whatever. He can just keep it moving. So I really don't know what he could do. I mean, I'm just being totally honest. That's a good question. I mean, he definitely needs to think of a way to redeem himself, but I honestly cannot think of how he can
I
do it.
think he should do is go to the next protest, whenever it is, and wear a Black Lives Matter t-shirt.
That could be a thought. He need to do something. I mean, I
think
don't
that
know.
would really forgive a lot of people. Will forgive him if he does something like that.
Just for him to show that he's sincere, he definitely needs to do something. Because I know there's this country music star. I think her name's Natalie Grant. I was scrolling past her yesterday, and she said that she's some type of I think she's a country music star or whatever. But she was saying that she lost a lot of quote unquote Christian fans after she stood up and said Black Lives Matter. I'm like, but at least she stood her ground, and I'm like, okay, like the group Lady Antebellum, they changed their name. They're like, okay, they didn't really take in the gravity of the fact that Antebellum associates with slavery, so now they Lady A. Okay, cool. At least they did something. So I don't know. Like, that's a good question. I know his wife, Brittany Brees, came in the clutch and tried to clear it up, and her little message, oh, she had tears in her eyes or something. I don't care. Like, it's just whatever. And I think the thing that probably trips everybody out the most is y'all in New Orleans, y'all been around enough Black people at this point. I think that's what the core of it. Like, you guys should have known better. So it just makes you wonder about certain people that quote unquote smile on our face, and act like they down with us. Like, okay. And that's why it's like everybody's showing their true colors now. And that's the thing I think that's boggling everyone's mind.
I agree wholeheartedly.
It's just crazy, but me personally, like I said, I'd already canceled him, so it's gonna just be interesting to see what happens. But not everybody, is quick to forgive him over this. So I don't know, and I actually haven't heard a peep from him since that lame ass video. Like, look into my eyes, sounding like an R&B song. Like, look into my eyes, like some Jodeci song or something.
That's terrible.
He's terrible right now. That's my thing. So obviously, with the protests going on, as we mentioned, everyone is just, showing their true colors. People are just speaking way out of term. So Candace Owens, who I think is like the Black Tommy Lauren or whatever, she's just been all over the place saying all these things about the victim, George Floyd, which I think is ridiculous. And she keeps trying to, do a blame the victim type of thing. I just really wish she would stop talking. What's your take on her? Because I'm just totally done with her. Not that I was ever with her to begin with, but I'm just over this chick.
I'm right there with you. I'm like, what are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to just draw attention to yourself just cause? Like, you that bored? Like, come on, man. She's canceled in my mind. Just go ahead. You should.
It's really sad. She's a disgrace, and I'm with you. Like, what is her motive? Like, what's your end goal? I don't think she even has.
I think she just wants attention for sure, but just like, that's not the way to go about it, honey. Like, you have so many ways you can go about getting attention, but not like that.
I think Dave Chappelle put it perfectly, in his surprise special, that he did yesterday, 846. And let me just say, like, Dave Chappelle, when I say I love him, he is like my favorite comedian. But he said something pointed. He's like, if I have to go that far to make money, Like it's just really sick. I just feel like, why do you have to throw your whole race under the
Oh
bus?
my God. I know I read one
You
of her
know,
tweets. So she says, according to his website, Black Lives Matter Inc. is not a charity. It is a full-fledged corporation that does not have any location. So can someone please tell me where the hundreds of millions of Black Lives Matters has raised goes to? Can someone tell me where it's located and why? See, you know what?
it's like, yeah, it's like, why is she going out of her way to discredit this movement? And that's the thing. I'm like, is it that important for her to be accepted? I guess to what Trump
For
supporters or
what?
the supremacists and cheat exactly, like, is that her goal, to be accepted by them? Like, I just don't get it. And I put her in the category of, and I don't know if you've seen this a lot. I'm seeing a lot of people, our people, that's making a lot of posts discrediting Joe Biden, right? Now here's my thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden could come in my house right now, slap my 3 kids, steal my money, cut off my power. I still gotta vote for him. Okay, like, me and Joel just have to work it out in the next 4 years or 8 years. I have
Yes.
to vote for him. Is my thing. Like, there is no other option. So it is what it is. Joe Biden could say some nasty stuff about my family. Me and Joe just gotta work it out in some mediation in the next 4 years or 8 years, God willing. But I can't not vote for him. So, like, I put her in the same category as some of us that's trying to sabotage him. I don't like, what's the goal? Because I've seen a lot of people that I know that's like, well, Joe Biden, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, I mean, I get it to a degree, but it's like, what is your end goal? Are you trying to say vote for Trump or don't vote at all? Because not voting is voting
Yes.
for Donald Trump. So, like, I'm just so confused. I really need some clarity. Have you come across any people like that that's going down a list trying to say, things about Joe Biden, and, like, I don't know what are they trying to tell us? Are
So
they trying to
basically,
say
I've
don't
seen
vote
it on
for him?
my timeline on occasion. I've just seen more people who are Trump supporters kind of bash Joe Biden. Now, as far as our people is
Mm,
concerned, people kind of like, where we are is like, we don't like Biden, but at this point we have to vote for him anyway because we do not want Trump back in office another 4 years. So that's where we are at this point because, I
right,
mean, yeah, like I agree. I'm not a huge Biden fan either, but I'm a much,
right,
much, much worse fan of Trump. So I'm with you. He can come to my
right.
house, take everything, rob me clean. I still vote for him, just
Exactly. He could come in my house and pull a Jodeci. He can take my money, my house and my car. And I'm like, I gotta vote for him. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we will work
right.
it
You
out.
can take my wife, you can take my kid, and like, all right, like, you vote for me? I'm like, yeah.
Exactly. Like, right. Can I please FaceTime my children? Like, can I see that they're, being fed? Because it's like,
Are they eating their proper meals?
exactly. Can they
Right.
IG me, please? Like, this is what it takes. I mean,
We'll work it
okay.
out some way.
Exactly. Can I see them on the weekends? Like, what I gotta do?
Write him a letter. I'll write a letter. I'll write
Because
a
this
letter.
is
That's
too
fine.
much. Thank you. Because, I mean, we have got to get this man out of office. I mean, I even posted the other day a meme. It was like a bunch of like rednecks saying, well, if you don't vote, you're
I
allowing these
saw
people to
that.
select your
Yep.
president. Man, I even had somebody comment, well, what about that electoral college? I'm like, oh my God. Like, so now we got to go back to civics class. I'm like, the votes
Yes.
still count though. So I'm just like, I just don't understand. I just think, I don't know if some people they're not educated of what's going on, or they've just given up, or it's a combination of it all. But I'm like, we need to get this man out of office. And I'm like, we do have to vote. I mean, I don't know. It's just a very strange situation right now. I just think some people have given up, and I know someone mentioned to me that some people are like, well, they're gonna vote for him because of the freaking stimulus. I'm like,
What is that going to
$1,200.
do?
That's what I'm saying. Like, $1,200 was not enough to make
Yeah,
me say,
I
oh
know.
yeah, like, what, $1,200? It's like, what? That's a scary thought, that you're
I
worth twelve
mean,
hundred
the
dollars.
best you can do maybe pay a couple bills here and there. Like that's not enough for my mortgage check. I mean, come on now, like.
It's not enough for mine either. I'm like, that
Yeah.
don't even cover my house note. So I was like,
I mean,
1,200. I was like,
I'll
okay,
take
like
it,
you
but
still
less than
sure?
that, that's sufficient, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. I'll take whatever he dishes out, but there's nothing he could do that would make
No,
me say, oh, well, you know what? Maybe
never,
I could deal with
never,
4 more. Hell no.
never.
There's nothing he could do. So, like I said, I don't get it. I don't understand Candace
She's
Owens.
canceled.
I don't
Canceled.
understand what's her purpose. She, it's just a shame. I don't get it. I'm like, who is her family? Like, are they like looking at her in
Probably.
shame?
I
Have
would
they
have.
disowned her?
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
I
know
mean,
her.
that's what I'm saying. Because I mean, do they
Nope.
still invite her to any type of cookouts? Is she on
Mm-mm.
the family Zoom
She,
meetings? Because
nah, she
I'm
isolated.
totally confused. Right, I just think she's like really sad and just, ugh, I don't know what to say. So obviously, with the protests going on, like I said, this is a crazy time. I just feel like we can't win. Like 2020 is insane because there's the pandemic, which I think
Yep.
a lot of people have
Mm-hmm.
forgotten about. It's like every time I see the videos, with the protesters, and don't get me wrong, I don't knock it at all. I'm like, yeah, protest. I mean, what else can we do? I mean, obviously, when someone brought up every peaceful protester has not
Yeah.
gotten far, unfortunately, in the history of time. So yeah, it is what it is. So they doing what they need to do. I don't knock them at all. As long as they vote in November,
Yes. Facts.
Godspeed. When but when I look at the videos, I'm like, whoa, that's a ton of people with no mask
Yeah.
on. And obviously not social distancing. So I'm kind of confused with the
Yeah. Oh
coronavirus. Like, is
no,
it
they're
still
still
here?
here. They're still hanging around.
I'm so confused because I'm like, what? I don't, I mean, I'm still quarantining actually. Like, I only leave my house when I have to pick up something, and it's always curbside situations. Like, I really don't go anywhere. Like, I really don't. I only leave to do curbside things. I don't get out the car when I go places. So I'm just like, is this gonna really is I'm just confused. I'm just feeling like, okay, this is obviously going to spike the
Hmm.
cases, which I've heard reports all week that a lot of states, cases are spiking. I even heard New
Something
Orleans, I
like
think was
that.
like what,
Yeah.
400 new cases. Yeah. So, I mean, what's your take on just the whole people not social distancing and kind of not wearing masks?
I
Like,
think right
what
now
is your
people are
take on
just
that?
so like over this whole quarantine thing. Like they're over COVID-19. They're just tired of being at the house all day, every day. And once phase one kind of opened up a little bit, people lost their mind because so finally some freedom, But they're not taking that precaution of
True.
wearing the mask or being 6 feet apart. They're just so focused on just being out and about with people, like not just be home by themselves or with a significant other. They're actually with other people, like they made their friends or family, or the case may be. So yeah, I also think just the
Right.
fact the whole George Floyd thing making headlines, it kind of put the COVID-19 thing in the back burner. So, but I
Yeah,
have actually
definitely.
talked to my frat brother. He actually went to the protest in New Orleans last week, and he had mentioned before that when he was out there, a lot of people were wearing masks. They were being now the whole 6 feet thing. Of course, that was
Good.
irrelevant, but they were wearing masks, which I thought was a good thing. So even though they're not
Thank God.
taking all necessary precautions, at least they're doing something at least. So
Yeah. Because that's the thing that I'm just like, whenever I see people protesting, I'm like, please be safe is all I'm thinking. Because like I said, I don't knock them at all. Like, I think it's been great, actually. Even certain things that people are looking at in a negative way, like, oh, some people are vandalizing things. I mean, I'm not saying, hey, go out and vandalize things, but people are upset and this has
yeah.
been going on for too long. The thing that I wish that more people would understand, and which is why I made a post on Facebook like the other day, just listing some of the racist things I've experienced, just because I actually had a few white friends message me like, "Oh, how are you doing? Are you okay?" And I'm like, I feel the same way I feel
Yeah.
365 days a year. Just like George Floyd is not the first person, unfortunately, for this to happen to, which is why everyone is enraged. So that's the only thing I just feel like some people don't understand why we're like upset. Like they get only a portion of it, So I don't know. That's why whenever I do see people protest, and I've seen some of my favorite celebrities out there, and I'm like, ooh,
Yeah,
they need to put a mask on, So that's the only thing, like I know, New Orleans, it seems like it's on a smaller scale than like these other cities, because some of them it's like you see like thousands upon thousands of people, like huge crowds. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I just hope that they're being safe. Like, I would just hate for some of these people to end up with this virus, in the next few weeks. Is just my fear for them, because I think they are doing a good thing, and things are working slowly but surely. I mean, they passed the Breonna Taylor law, even though they have not
that part.
arrested the officers, which I don't, doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm like, okay, something is happening. It's
Yeah,
just
they
too
were saying
slow,
her
is my thing.
report was saying it was all like blank, like didn't like fill the information out in that report of her being murdered. I was like, how surprised are we? I mean, come on now, what'd you expect? The cops going to cover them as much as they could. Like, come
Right.
on.
Right, it's true, because I follow the attorney Benjamin Crump on Instagram, and he posted it, and it's blank. It's like 4 pages of blank nonsense. It's just like, what? I mean, there's nothing, even in the description area. There's nothing.
This is
Like it's
yeah,
nothing.
it's the worst.
You know, it's really sad. I mean, and then the sadder part is the fact that she's just getting attention with what happened with her. There's even, the case with the poor boy that was killed years ago, at school, and they
Oh
found his
yeah, I
body
remember
in the
reading about
gym
that
mat.
too.
And yeah, and he was mutilated and everything. And that's still just starting to get more traction in the media. And that happened years ago. So, it's just, I don't know. This is a strange time period, And I know one thing that we kind of touched on when we were trying to, come up with the topics for our episode. So anyone that will look at Marlon's page has a beautiful,
Oh,
just the
thank
cutest
you.
little child ever. Like, so cute. And I mean, I just wanted to get like your perspective. Just, I know, I just kind of felt like, because I have 3 kids, but I have 2 sons, one who's 19. And, I had to have that conversation with him when he started driving. I was like, look, and we live in Slidell,
Yes.
which is a whole different machine. I lived in New Orleans for 30 years, but I've been out here, and
Yeah.
that's a whole different episode about
Yeah.
how it is on the North Shore. So, I did have a talk with him, like, hey, the police ever pull you over, do not move. I'm like, don't budge at all. Like, wait till they approach the car, but don't move, And I would be like, are you sure your registration, your insurance is in the glove box? Like, make sure that you can access it, because I was afraid. I'm not going to lie. Like, I just was really
Yeah.
nervous when he
Of
started
course.
driving and, going out and about, because I kept thinking, well, what if somebody pulls him over? They're not going to see
Mm-hmm.
what I see, what I know, so it's scary. So, like, what's your thoughts, having a young child? Because ironically, when I had my 19-year-old, he was born the year of September 11th. And I remember when September 11th happened, he was born in April. And I remember, like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
was like, I just brought a child into a world like this. Like, I felt kind of, I felt sad, because I'm like, I don't want my child to have to deal with certain things. And then ironically, fast forward 19 years later, this is happening. I really can't believe, my son has to view this. So, like, what's your thoughts, just knowing that you have a young, beautiful Black child, and he's going to grow into a world
Man,
like
it's
this?
tough.
Like, just
Man, it
what
was
do you think?
crazy. So right now my son is 7 months, and I've taken some time to like
Mm-hmm.
meet different like Black people, friends of mine who are fathers, and say, hey, when have you had a conversation with your son about race? Because I think it's important to have that conversation with them,
Right.
understand that everybody's different, and this time period for sure. And like you said, it's tough out here, man. Especially if you have a Black kid. I mean, him start driving, that scares the hell out of me. Because even the thing that really pissed me off with the whole George Floyd thing, I was even picturing like my son in that position.
Mm-hmm.
That's what kind of scared the hell out of me. I'm like, wow, that can even be my
Right.
son, just being, abused by the police, wrongfully murdered in front of people. It was like, that's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, all I can really
It
do
is.
is take one day at a time with him, treasure each moment with him. But once he gets older, like as a
Mm-hmm.
teenager, had a real serious conversation with him. Look, man, people gonna look at you differently because it's color of your skin. I mean, it's just the way it is. You get put up by the cops, same thing. You can't fight the cops. You just can't do it. Because actually, my dad was a
Mm-hmm.
retired police officer,
Right.
30 years, he always told me, it was like, you can never win with the cops.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you just can't do it. So what they
Right.
say, you just do it. You may hate it, it may suck, but I'd much rather pick you up from a police station than have to bury you in a box. You know?
Right. And that's a lot coming from your dad, because anybody from New Orleans that tunes in, we all know who Marlon Defillo is. We have much respect for him. But for a police officer, for a police officer to even say that, it's just, wow. I don't know. It's kind of like, I can't even really put it into words what I think. Like, it's scary, and even my son, like during the pandemic, like he'll sit outside in his car, and I even told him like recently,
Yeah,
like,
right.
be careful. It's like, be careful just sitting in the driveway, because I'm like, who knows what'll happen? Like if the police drive through the subdivision and I mean, it's just scary to think that way. But I did tell him, I was like, hey, just be
Right.
careful when you're sitting in there, like, which is crazy that I have to tell my child to watch how he sits in his vehicle
Yeah.
in our driveway, but I'm like, it just seems like they're losing their minds. And I mean, just like they had the video with the kids in Atlanta, the college
Oh, that
students, and
was the
they
worst,
dragged them out
man.
the car and stuff. It's like, right. I mean, and then it was so sad because there was a story later, a reporter was interviewing the two kids, and like the young guy, he couldn't even talk, because he was so hurt and traumatized over what happened. And I'm like, man, like, I don't know. It's just very scary. I never would have thought that my kids in this generation would be dealing with stuff that our grandparents and great grandparents experienced, because it's like that's what's happening. So it's just, it's really sad. I just hope that's why, like I said, I do not knock the protest. I'm hoping that we get something out of it. I mean, but the only sad thing is people are still racist. They showing their colors every day, and I don't know. There's no way to change a racist. Only, I guess maybe for the next generation to know better. I don't know, but I don't know. In the perfect world, hopefully things will just have some level of a difference, so that, when your child gets older and my 11-year-old gets older, that they don't have to, this will just be something they can look up in a history book, is my prayer. But I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just a strange
absolutely. I mean, I do think the
situation.
protest is actually
But,
working because, they pressed more charges on Derek, that
mm-hmm,
would kill George Floyd for sure. And also, too, I kind of feel like you kind of see who your
right.
friends are that are white. You can definitely see who's really down for you because,
Right.
yeah, people reached out to me. Some white friends of mine reached out saying, "Are you okay? I understand what's going on. I'm here to help you, whatever you need. I'm just out here to listen." Like, oh, that was dope. And then, yeah, the Karens of the world, you find out who really are,
Right.
strictly racist. So at that point, you block them. You know, that's how I look at it.
Right. That's definitely been my thing. I feel like, good. I see, who's really down and who's not, because I have friends of all colors, and it's like with this situation too, like I see which ones are
Yeah.
sincere and which ones
Mm-hmm.
have been crickets, haven't said a word. I mean, really, so it's just been really ridiculous. But that's been one
Yep.
silver lining. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we get to see people for who they are. and and that's always a plus, whether it's good or bad. Seeing people for who they are, it's like, okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now we know how you stick and move.
Absolutely. Block
We
them.
can keep it
Something got
moving too.
it.
So,
Yeah.
exactly, blessed and blocked. so, so to move on and to lighten up a bit, so there's this big thing in the media, as we've mentioned, people who will listen to this episode, we've mentioned this beautiful place, this lovely fictional place that, a lot of Black people, we dream about, we wish was real. It's called Wakanda. It's
Yes.
from one of my favorite movies in the world, Black Panther. And let me tell you, when Black Panther first came out, I had the flu, right? Which may not be a good thing to say during the COVID-19
Oh,
situation.
so
I
it's
went
your
to the
fault we
movies
had COVID
with the flu,
19. It's your
right?
fault.
Because I well, I'm gonna just be real. Like, when Black Panther, when they first started talking
Yes.
about it, and I'm a Marvel head, I love superheroes. So when it was like they coming up with a Black superhero, they gonna make a movie, I was like, what? So like, even when in the Avengers, when they showed T'Challa found those
Yes.
2.9 seconds, I'm
Yes.
just like all for it. I'm like, oh, I can't wait. So I had been waiting for Black Panther for the longest. I ended up getting sick the freaking week that Black Panther was going to be released, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to see this movie. So I went that Thursday. Didn't even go to work that day. I was sick, but I was like, okay, I'm still bringing my sick behind to the theater. I was too sick to put on
Yep.
my African whatever, but some people was doing it. But I was just like, when I say I was in love with that movie, I never forget at the end too. So I went with my daughter because my two sons had went with their
Okay.
dad in the same theater but at a different time. So it was me and her watching it. And the very last scene, you know, when the ship comes down or whatever, and the little boy's like, "Who are you?" And then he just smiles at him. I'm like grabbing my daughter, I'm shaking her like, like I love this movie, like this movie's about, you know, I was like, oh my god, this is the best movie I've ever seen. So like, and at the time I was working in payroll. I was the only Black person in my department. They all knew though to just give me my respect with Black Panther because that whole weekend I was like flooding my timeline. Somebody even joking me that Monday, well, Sharina, what did you think of the movie? Because it's like I had flooded everything about it. People knew, like me and a few Black people I worked with,
Yes.
whenever we walked
Yes.
by with each other, we did the Wakanda for everything. Like everybody knew that was my thing. So I'm obsessed with Black Panther, and everybody else who knows me knows I'm obsessed with Michael B. Jordan because if I was on Wakanda, I probably would have got exiled anyway because I was all down with Killmonger. I'm not gonna lie. So, you know, is this your king? I'd have been like, no, you know, like, you know. But anyway, that's another story. But the big thing in the media now is, which I heard this is actually not true, but they were saying at one point and scared a lot of us Black Panther fans that Beyonce was actually going to be in the movie as Storm. I actually was one of the people that was not feeling this, even
Right.
though, like I said, I'm hearing that was not even
I
true
was kind of saying
anyway.
like,
But what do
I
you
don't
think
think it's a
about
good
that?
fit because I was even thinking about it. Like, okay, Beyonce, I like her as an actress. I think she's okay. She's not great, but I think she's okay. But for that role to play in Black Panther 2, like, nah, bro. I can't see it. Like, Storm is this, this feline, like this fierce,
Right.
like hero. Like, I just can't see it with her. I was thinking maybe like, your girl, Takia Scepter is how you say her name. I thought she'd be a good Storm, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Beyonce just yeah, boo boo, like just not this one. Like you do the soundtrack if you want. I know she's not doing that supposedly,
Right.
but just like do the soundtrack. That's cool. But just the actual like being in the movie, being Storm, nah, bro. You can be an extra. What I'm saying, but no, boo boo,
I
no.
mean, my thing with Beyonce, and like I said,
Yeah, of
I'm not in the
course.
Beehive, but I do like some of her songs. Okay, but I'm not in the Beehive. And I mean, like I said, I like Beyonce, but I always specify I'm not in the Beehive, meaning I'm not about to go attack people online, you know, for her. Like, I just think that's kind of crazy. So, like, you know, I am a fan of hers. I mean, I've actually
Yeah,
seen her in concert. Like, she's an amazing performer.
yeah.
But Black Panther, no. Okay, first of all, and we are from the South, but she has a very thick Southern accent. And anybody want to get mad at me saying that? Look, I ain't from New Orleans, okay? Like, trust me, I can baby or whatever. It is what it is. I mean, and I cringe
I get it
sometimes
too.
when I listen to my podcast recordings, but I don't see how she gonna be in
Yeah.
Wakanda talking like, you know, we can't bring Houston to Wakanda. It's not gonna work. So I'm not feeling it. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe she would try and do her
That was
Nala
bad
voice
too, and I
from The
love
Lion
Lion
King.
King. I love my favorite movie as a child, and to hear her voice as now, I'm like, yeah, bro, like this really hurt my heart. Like, I was so excited to see this movie, like
Right.
live, and just to hear her, this whole thing was messed up. I thought as a whole, I was just like this.
It was
Yeah,
unnecessary in
it
my
just messed
opinion. I'm like,
everything
why are
up.
they
But
doing this?
yeah, just Beyonce. I love her. Just not in this role. Like you can play Storm with Jay-Z. You got role play. Do that in your private bedroom. Do that, but don't do it. Yeah, do it at
Right.
home.
Exactly. Do that at home. You know, pull up the partition, please. And y'all, you know, but no, you don't have to do this. Please don't do it. Don't even drive past the set. And anybody that wants to be like, oh, she hating on Beyonce, please. I'm one of the few people that actually had no issue with her covering a Frankie Beverly and May
Yeah.
song. And you know, that's like a no-no in New Orleans. Okay. even I gave her that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I can get down with this particular version of the song. So I'm like, give me that, okay? For anybody that's like,
I thought
you
it was
just don't like
good.
it.
I mean,
That's
people
not
still
true.
second line to it, and they still get to the bus stop to it. So yeah, people are.
Right, because I'm telling you, I was at an event one time. Now, I think I may have had one drink. And that song came on. I was like, oh, wait a minute now. I was all in it. So I was like, okay, like she won me. So it's like, give me a break. So no one can just sit there and say I'm biased against Beyonce. I'm not. But this is Black Panther. Okay,
Yes.
this is Wakanda. Okay, like Wakanda forever. Like we cannot tarnish that movie. And I really need them to come on with this movie. I don't know what's gonna happen now with the pandemic. I mean, I'm so sad. I mean, even Insecure, my favorite show in the world, the finale is tomorrow, and it already took 2 years for them to do season 4. So now there's a pandemic. And I saw Issa Rae. I was watching Angela Yee's actually podcast, and they asked her, well, what was she thinking about, the pandemic? And she was like, well, if no one else is working, I won't be either. She's like, I'm not leaving either. I'm not leaving my house either. And she's like, and then when people start leaving, she
Oh,
said,
so
I'm still
she
gonna wait
playing with
about a
y'all
few
for the
months.
most part. Like, yeah,
So
bro, season 5 gonna be
sis,
on hold.
right, sis not about to. Right. She's like, I really want to do, finish season 5, blah, blah, blah. But sis not in no rush to leave. And I don't blame her, So who knows when
Probably
we're going to
because
see
right now I'm
Insecure? It'll
on the
probably be
third season of Insecure,
2022.
trying to catch
So,
up. And boy, it's a crazy, it's a crazy show. Not it's not for everybody, but it's addicting to say the least.
I love the show because I'm like Issa says, she rooting for everybody black. I like stand for Issa Rae. Like I root for everything that she's in. Except for Little. I wasn't a big fan of that movie. But anyway. Um I've been watching her ever since Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl, like when she started on her YouTube show. And the episodes are like 2-3 minutes. But I always really loved her. And I'm like, she really is my inspiration because she started from YouTube, and look at her now. So like she's really one of my inspirations. So like
Yeah,
I am biased with Insecure. Like I love that show. like, you know. But I'm like, man, we don't have anything to look forward to movie wise or TV show wise because I'm
no, it's
like
so
they can't
depressing right now. As
film
I said, just
anything.
throw 2020 away, bro. Just throw it away.
Right. I mean, in 2020, I don't know what to say. Like, remember what year was that? I think that was what 1997 or 98. Where remember when all the celebrities were dying, and it's like everybody was like, "Oh, well, it's like we had like the little term like everybody was dying." So it was like, man,
I got it.
2020 said,
Anything I
"Hold
had
my
to run,
beer,"
if I
you
had to run,
know?
I got you.
Right. Right. Like I'm gonna show y'all something, and it started
Kobe.
right in January because I mean, and that's right. And ironically, that's how I started the whole on the go segments because Kobe had died. And I'm like, there's no way in
Yes.
hell we cannot talk about this. And we did our first on the go the day we found out the news that he passed. And I was still in shock, but we waited till like the end of the segment, but we had to talk about it, obviously, and
Yeah.
that birthed the whole on the go concept because it's like, okay, we have to do these bonus episodes where we, talk about what's going on because it would just be
Yeah, absolutely.
insane and
'Kay,
impossible
hit
not to
everybody
address
hard,
it.
you know?
So, right. So I just feel like once Kobe left us, that was it. It's like 2020 just couldn't redeem itself. It was just like even February said,
Bruh.
"Hold
And
my beer."
then
Like I'm a
it's
top
then
that.
continued on and on. And
So
it's like you got Trump,
this
you
is
got
crazy.
these killings. It's bruh, it's just horrible.
Right. So like I said, I don't know what to do. I just been podcasting and chilling, quarantining,
Yes.
because we all need to be safe. So I don't know. So just to wrap up everything, all I can say is I don't know. We got to find ways to just stay positive. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a
so
truck
you're
driver.
working,
I
right?
drive
During
tanker
everything.
trucks in Gonzales, Louisiana. So I'm still working like 5 days a week. So I'm essential, as you would say.
Mm-hmm. Right. 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 So, hey, so all my essential workers is definitely be safe. I mean, for the rest of us that's quarantining, I know I have a
Oh,
few
good for them.
friends. They're actually going to start going back to work next week. Since phase two is starting. So, whoever's listening, wherever you are, I just want everybody to be safe. You know what I always say, go love yourself. But before we go, I want Marlon to give everyone his contact information because he's also the host of the DayLateDollarShort Podcast. Like I said, they hooked me up, put me on on how to record a little better, and I'm super grateful. So
We're
just definitely
at
tell
on
everybody how
Facebook,
they can
Daily
find your
Dollar Short
podcast.
Podcast. We also have a Facebook group too. We pretty much talk a lot on different topics. Whatever guys feeling, we're on that thing too. On Instagram, Daily Dollar Short Podcast. Yeah, we're just here, just grinding it out, having fun with this podcast. We really enjoy it. I be seeing you do your thing on your podcast, so I'm proud of you. You got your 1,000 followers, so girl, I'm so proud of you, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. Like I said, hey, we're the little podcast world. We all love what we do, and we just try to be a silver lining. Hopefully, we help people and keep them positive,
Yes.
give them a distraction, something, with everything going on. So I think definitely us podcasters, we are definitely serving a role for sure,
Yeah.
just to keep everybody happy. So, but thank you again. Like I said, I really appreciate you. I do not forget how I forget how we started just chatting and you mentioned
Yep.
Anchor and I'm like, let me
That's the
look into that.
wave.
Because God knows I was struggling with my little podcast at first. I
Man,
couldn't figure out
you
how to
got it
stream
and
it,
you ran with
anything.
it.
So I did. I took that ball and I took it going. I did what Drew should have did. I
Yeah, you didn't
ran the
drop the
ball.
ball. You didn't drop it.
Right, right. So
Thank
thank
you.
you again. I really appreciate it. I definitely have fun doing the on the go. So for everybody listening, you know what I'm going to say. Wherever you are, make sure you go love
Here you
yourself.
go.
And thank you for listening to the Q Chat.